Hi, my name's Elliot Winter. I am one of the co-owners of what is soon to be 708 St. Louis, and we aim to be the one and only burlesque bar restaurant combination here in St. Louis. As you watch the Kickstarter video, we want to show you quite a bit of the space and just kind of what our plans for it, and I'll talk to you about everything. Right now it was a steakhouse, so it's going to look a little different than what it will when it's all said and done, but at least gives you an idea. In the front of the house, where you saw that amazing balcony and the staircase and all that, that is going to be functioning day to day as a bar and restaurant. The difference is with us versus anybody else is you're not just going to have amazing food. We will have amazing food. We're going to be doing high-end comfort food, really awesome burgers, and some really unique twists on mac and cheese and flatbread pizza, and etc. We're also going to have one of the best beer selections in St. Louis. We all are really actually craft beer fans. We want to bring in a lot of craft beer. But the difference is your singing and dancing waitresses are going to be serving you. So at any point throughout the meal, you might have an aerialist coming from the ceiling. You might have 3 or 4 waitresses or bartenders getting up in the bar and doing a song and dance number. When you walked through the space earlier, there's actually a little alcove there. We might just have a singer pop out in the middle of your meal and either give you a standard or something new. That's kind of one of the exciting parts of this whole concept, is that not only is there entertainment, but it could come at you from any direction. As you walk down the hallway from that front space, that's going to be our signature wall. And obviously, if you donate to Kickstarter the $5 or more, you get to sign that wall, because we want you all to have ownership. It's not so much that we need to raise a bunch of money through Kickstarter. That's what we have backers for, actual investors. We're doing Kickstarter because we want you to be a part of it. We want you to feel that you have that little bit of ownership with the space. So we want 1,000 signatures on that wall, 2,000 signatures on that wall. And that way you can come and show your friends and go, hey, I signed the wall. And that's also something you get to do and kind of keeps people's interest while you're waiting. In that space, we also have our little alcove there. We're going to have a really cool merchandise area set up there. And we'll have t-shirts and glasses and all that stuff that you can check out and look at while you're waiting for the show. Now, the back of the house, that's where things get really interesting. And I know it's kind of hard to envision right now. We just took possession of the space, and we're in the process now of cleaning things out and everything else. A giant bar is going to go. It's going to be completely gone. We're going to put a new curved little bar in. The rest of the area back there is going to be seating, because what we want to do is where those big picture windows are, we want to put a whole stage there. We've already got a great construction company coming in. They're going to give us a nice, probably about 2-foot tall stage, so everybody's going to have great sight lines to it. It's going to be a beautiful space, 8 feet deep. Big, beautiful curtains behind it. We'll have full lighting in there. It's going to be like you walked into a burlesque theater. Now, we're going to have some unique high-end touches and some different touches to keep it modern with how we do things, but there is not another venue in St. Louis that will have our beer selection, that will have this food selection, and that'll have a dedicated performance space like that where you actually feel like you're part of the show. And again, we have some amazingly talented people, which is the other thing we wanted to talk to you about, is who we are. 708 is obviously the name of the venue, but where we started at is a company named Backlot Boudoir, and we've been doing burlesque now in St. Louis for about 3 years. But in that 3 years, Backlot Boudoir has carved this amazing niche, and we have these amazing fans that have followed us. I mean, thousands of people on Facebook, and when we do these shows once a quarter, you know, 600 or 800 people, and there's a different vibe when you perform to 600 or 800 people. Now, mind you, with this space, we're going back to intimate, and we're talking a seating area of about 80 to 120 people, which allows everybody to have a great experience. Everybody's very intimate, which is part of burlesque. But as somebody who's been doing these shows for 3 years, man, that first time that we sat 925 people, it was awe-inspiring. And even now, when we've capped it and we're setting them at 500 or 600 people a show, so to look out and see the smiles on those faces and see just the sea of heads and hear the applause and the screams and all that from that, it's a whole new experience. And that's why we wanted to continue to strive to be better. Our troupe in particular, if you have not heard about us, what's different with us is we take burlesque roots, and we take this concept of burlesque and vaudeville and these things, but we make it more relatable and we make it more modern. We're not afraid to be silly. We're not afraid to not take ourselves too seriously. We have some amazingly talented people, probably some of the best in St. Louis, I think, some of the best in the Midwest. And these girls work very hard to put together these great routines. I say girls, but men and women work very hard to put together these amazing routines. And what other troupe can say that, you know, you could see anything from Slimer from Ghostbusters with pyrotechnics going off to, you know, the sexiest Boba Fett you could possibly imagine, to living out an entire Super Mario's 8-bit game in about 3 minutes of a routine. You know, we've done geek-themed shows. We're on the process of doing a Disney-themed show. We're all about taking this concept of burlesque, this very entertaining concept, but making it where anybody from St. Louis, from the Midwest, from anywhere can just walk in and just have that experience. And they get that bit of culture and that bit of fun that burlesque is, but it comes to them with music they know and fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. You know, the problem is when you're doing art for art's sake, not everybody gets it. If you do something that's artful and beautiful and fun, and you make it relatable to people, then it's that much more enjoyable. And that's what we do this for, is the crowd. And that's why we've always mixed in these modern twists. And I'll tell you, we've got some great ideas for routines for this space already. It's one of the advantages of being able to do your own space and not having to try to seat 600 people. When you get to do a new space, and we want to change the show once a month. So we're going to do 4 weeks of a show and then completely change it so you can keep coming back and seeing new things. We've already got, I bet you, 24 concepts that are going to blow people off their feet. Stuff you'd never picture in a burlesque show and stuff that you maybe always kind of wanted to see in a burlesque show. The other big thing that I want to mention on this and have you guys have is about what burlesque is. I think a lot of people watching this or people just in general, you'd say to them burlesque and they're like, well, what is it? What is burlesque? Well, burlesque is kind of a pretty broad term. We've done a PSA before. We'll have some footage for you, but we did a PSA about burlesque love.
I'm Ivy Links, and I'm a graphic designer.
I'm Katarina Von Rocket, and I'm a student.
I am Tuesday LeBeau, and I am an office manager. I'm Trixie Solo. I'm a customer service representative at Family Video, and I have parental custody of my little sister.
And we're burlesque performers.
Unemployable.
Slutty, desperate, untalented, beauty, empowered, inspiration,
and talented.
I do this because it raises my self-confidence, it makes me more comfortable with myself.
It's definitely very empowering. It makes me feel sexy and funny and definitely talented.
I feel like I'm part of a family and I'm around all of my friends, but most of all I actually enjoy entertaining people.
It makes me feel like a better person and it makes me more confident with my body.
St. Louis is a great town, and that's one of the reasons why we want to put this space on the landing. You know, let's make St. Louis awesome again. Let's make it inspiring. Let's make it beautiful, and let's show what we can do. Again, we hope you pledge. We look forward to your support, and thank you very much.